Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to be going over some of the recent weird words coming from lightweight contenders, multiple of them, including the champion and Ilia Topuria, when it comes to this whole situation on who's Ilia is going to fight next at lightweight and who is going to welcome him into this weight class. It doesn't seem like anybody really wants to. With that being said, Ilia definitely doesn't want to fight a contender. He wants to shoot straight for the belt. But we have Islam on record saying that Islam is not going to fight Ilia because he thinks he should earn it at 155, which isn't a terrible take to have. What it does feel like a little bit. For Islam, it's okay because it makes a little bit of sense. But also, it would make a lot more sense if we didn't have a super big logjam at lightweight right now. There isn't a clear contender for Islam that's not either coming off of a one fight losing streak or winning streak and or he's already beat. This is a fresh contender in the meantime that we can put against while we have Armin fight someone else like Gaethje, like an Oliveira. I think it's the most hype matchup the UFC can make. I know they want to make it. I think this fight is perfect, but it's just not coming together, which is really annoying because of Islam. Ilya's on record, which probably he shouldn't have done, to be honest, if he wanted this fight, saying that he isn't going to accept any fight. I'm pretty sure he might have been offered an Armin fight, which he turned down. So it's just a little bit of it's a negotiation game at the moment for Ilia Topuria and the rest of the lightweight contenders. We also have Charles Oliveira going on record saying that he wouldn't fight Ilia and he would only fight him if it's for a belt. With that doesn't make any sense. Oliveira, you're a number one contender. You're not a champ. You don't get to dictate that when Ilya's moving up a weight class and he was their champ. You are the guy he fights. He doesn't work his way up the rankings. You are the guy he fights. This to me, you're not Islam. You don't have everybody. You don't have the power Islam does at the moment. I love Oliveira, but this screams to me that he is afraid of getting shinned, which is what I think would happen in this fight. I don't like that attitude from Oliveira. He should be wanting this matchup to prove himself so he can fight Islam. Like, just because Ilia Topuria is coming up the rankings as a featherweight doesn't mean he's at all hasn't earned it. He knocked out Volk and Holloway back to back. Those are the two best wins back to back. That was pretty much the best wins you can have back to back. So Oliveira saying that he won't fight Ilia makes no sense to me at all. I understand it with Islam, but with Oliveira it doesn't make any sense. And I'm pretty sure Armin will be the fight to make because of this. Because Oliveira's gonna what? But it doesn't make any sense at all for Oliveira because Oliveira can either fight Sarukian in a rematch, Gaethje in a rematch, Poirier in a rematch, Holloway in a rematch, I think. So there's nothing all for Oliveira. This is perfect. Have Oliveira fight Ilia. It's the only fight to make if you're not going to give Ilia a belt. Unless you make Ilia versus Sarukian, which is cool, but it's not as cool. I want cool shit with Ilia Topuria. It's why he moved up. It's why all the hype is built around him and what he's gonna do and how far he can go. And this just ruins it, and I hate it. But to me, we need to, for the UFC to be in a good place in lightweight and in hype in general, we need negotiations to be moving forward with these big super fights, and they're just not. Pereira's dead. He's done. He's gone. We need people to pick up the pieces. He was their biggest draw. Now that Pereira's gone, the UFC has taken a hit. They want Ilia in this situation. He is their guy. They need him in a spot with an Oliveira or an Islam or a Sarukian, but it's not as nice to say. That matchup isn't as nice to come out of my mouth. So I think that is what they're going to do. They're going to have to do. But Ilia is also on record saying he's not going to fight anybody but Islam. So I think it's just a big negotiation battle, which will end up just ruining everything, I think, which sucks because I really had a lot of hype for Ilia versus Makhachev, and I hope it does happen. And even a build-up fight would be okay, but this is the one I wanted. So Oliveira coming out and saying this is just cringe to me, and it makes me question Oliveira, what he's willing to, like, You want Sarukian in a rematch? Is that what you really want? Or do you want to test yourself against Ilia, which is going to give you the most hype you can possibly get and will automatically jump you over Sarukian or a Gaethje? Now they're talking about Gaethje versus Islam for a belt, which is the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. That's the only one that Islam hasn't beat right now. But you can't give Gaethje a title fight right now coming off of one win against Rafael Fiziev. It doesn't make any sense. Then we're just building Islam's resume to be some like figmented bullshit where it was a short notice. It'll be Gaethje coming off of one win, Poirier coming off of one win. It's just fake. It's weird and fake and bad, and it just doesn't sit right with me. And the only Volk arguably beat him in the first fight. His legacy is just not. It just looks weird on paper for everything. Everything is just working out in his favor, and it's just fishy and it looks bad. So I don't want to see Gaethje get a goddamn title shot after one win. Have him fight Sarukian. Have Ilia fight Oliveira, and either keep Islam on ice or you jump Ilia up. That's what I think they should do. But I don't know. We will see how this plays out. But I'm really hoping one of them gives, hopefully Makachev, and we get this fucking dice rolling to some sick shit. So yeah, there's that. There is this. Dana White is reportedly gonna possibly look for other options besides ESPN, which I am in favor of. Netflix, though, I don't know about that. This is because of ESPN's most recent shit fuck up for UFC 312. And it happened to me, and I missed Mauricio Ruffi's knockout over Bobby Green, and I couldn't be more angry at ESPN as a platform. They just cut out, wouldn't let anybody purchase the pay-per-view for like an hour. We missed Ruffi, or at least I did, and many others. Many others couldn't buy it for the entire night. I got lucky and it came back on, but that is so annoying. And it really pissed me off that day. So, Dana White is not happy about that either. He is looking for alternatives, and Netflix seems to be the rumored partner if they can get out of the ESPN deal, which I have mixed feelings about. Netflix isn't a pay-per-view platform, so unless they're going to go away from pay-per-view completely, which I know Dana White's been talking about, kind of. Unless they're going to do that, Netflix's pay-per-view reliability, I don't trust it, really. It's going to be a very new thing for them. And Netflix also isn't awesome when it comes to just being like a good streaming platform, a reliable streaming platform. They're good, but they don't do live stuff. So it's a very new thing for them. Putting all your chips into Netflix when they're doing it pretty new. I know they did the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson thing, but that was free. And there was a lot of people on that, and it worked decently well. I knew there were some problems, but that was a lot of people watching that. So they could do it. And I'm all in favor of switching it up because ESPN fucking sucks and I hate it. But Netflix, I'm just not fully convinced yet. But I'm excited to see what they do with that. If Netflix is down to make this work, then I am all in favor because ESPN fucking sucks. So yeah, finally, I just thought I'd talk about this. Robbie Lawler thinks he's going to come back. He submitted a drug test for the UFC, so he's in the pool. He's wanting to come back. I don't know why all these retired fighters are deciding to come back. He just got put in the Hall of Fame for the last pay-per-view too, so I don't know if that got his juices flowing or something, but he wants back. Also, Nate Diaz is thinking about coming back, but he said there's nobody exciting to fight. So making him versus Robbie and making the Avenge My Brother matchup would be kind of interesting, or making Lawler versus Diaz 3. The Nick Diaz, not the Nate, the Nick one. Maybe that's an option. I don't know why Robbie Lawler would be coming back. Maybe money's tight, but I just thought I'd add that to this video. I don't know who he would fight. It doesn't really make any sense for him to come back, but I guess he's doing it. I see a lot more retired fighters coming back in the future as well. And the GFL, oh yeah, Jeremy Stevens is also back, fighting on a card officially. So he's back. The hardest hitting 145-pounder is back after making a run in BKFC, which was pretty impressive actually, and he beat Eddie Alvarez. So that's actually kind of hype because Jeremy Stevens has been doing other stuff. Robbie Lawler, on the other hand, hasn't really been doing anything. So, I don't know. It's just interesting. So, yeah, I think that's about it. Interesting news. Hopefully, Ilia gets the fight he wants because that seems to be the most fun. Whatever Ilia is wanting seems to be the most adrenaline building event. So, that's about it. I will see you soon.